Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look on the Nike Giannis Immortality. So this is Giannis's budget model sneaker from Nike, and it's only going for 80 bucks, which is super cheap. Not a whole lot of tech going on in the shoe, and if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. This colorway is available right now on Nike, and like I said, it's super cheap. So yeah, let's get it started off with the tracciones, right? So the tracciones, we got some herringbone, and we got a two-tone outsole here, here where the ball of your foot is, and also on the lateral side in the heel, we got a translucent pink, or I guess like semi-translucent pink, and on the lateral side here in the forefoot, and then switching it up to the medial side here in the heel, we have like a peach-colored solid outsole, and the traction, just trying it on my wood floors, holy crap, guys, it seems like it's gonna be insane. The bite seems really good. We have a nice high-pitched squeak as well. So I'm super excited about that. Of course, I mean, that's really all you need, you know. For me, if the traction is really good, that's already like, damn, that's a nice shoe, you know what I mean? Of course, there are other important factors in a basketball shoe, but for me personally, traction is really important. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna be playing ball, you want to have good traction, right? Or I guess the way I play. So just right there, right off the bat, that's pretty much a check mark. Of course, it was just on my wood floors. Of course, we're gonna have to see on the actual basketball court, but right now it feels really nice. There are some flex grooves. I mean, okay, so on Nike.com it says these are flex grooves. I don't know how this is a flex groove coming down here into the forefoot. I mean, your foot, I guess it doesn't really flex this way. It more flexes this way, right? You know what I mean? So also another thing that I'm worried about is, remember the Curry 6 fiasco where the outsole kept coming off? That can definitely happen here in this shoe. I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure when you're doing lateral movements. Hopefully this part of the outsole doesn't come off, but I mean, it is a cutout here, so I don't know why they would do that, but anyways, there's that. Also, another pretty cool thing that you can see through this translucent upper are some holes here in the midsoles. Of course, they did core out the midsole a little bit to reduce weight, and you can definitely see it through this pink translucent or semi-translucent outsole. All right, moving on to the heel to toe transition. It's super freaking smooth, it feels like. I mean, you can just tell. I mean, look at the heel. Look at how much it curves up, and also look at how much it protrudes out. Look at that. That's just insane. So it kind of reminds me of, like, I forgot what it was, like the Kyrie Low 2 or the Kyrie Low 3, where it pretty much did the exact same thing. But yeah, here in the heel, super curved and very rounded shape, and also here in the forefoot, we have a very curved and rounded shape as well, and we have a lot of forefoot flex, so it seems like it's gonna be pretty damn smooth for heel to toe transition. And now moving on to the cushion. I mean, okay, so like I said, there is a lack of tech in this shoe, and that's basically what the cushion is, right? It's just foam. There's no zoom, there's no nice foam. Like, at least add some Renew, or I don't know, I guess React is what they use in more like their premium shoes, but I mean, I don't know, give us a nicer cushion, you know, Cushlon or something like that. But anyways, yeah, so it's probably just a Phylon, but it seems pretty nice. There is a little bit of compression, but as you guys can see here on the lateral side and the heel, and also in the midfoot, the rubber outsole does come up a good amount to cage the midsole, so it doesn't really allow the midsole to compress as much, but it still feels pretty nice. Here in the forefoot, it's pretty much dead. There is a little bit of compression here in the forefoot as well, but I don't know, I mean, it's probably going to bottom out pretty quickly. And of course, it's just Phylon, and it feels very low to the ground, which I guess is a good thing, and probably going to be a very responsive cushion. But of course, impact protection is something that I am a little worried about. But like I said, the little amount of compression that I'm feeling, I guess, does feel pretty nice. But other than that, it's a very like basic cushioning setup. So there's that. All right, moving on to the materials. It says it's an engineered mesh, right? And this material is extremely thin, like really thin. It's really thin here in the toe box, and it stays extremely thin here in the midfoot as well. It's just paper thin. And this material just reminds me a good amount of the KD Tre 5.8. I would say it seems a little bit softer, or like a little bit less supportive, and there's a little bit more stretch to the material here in the Immortalities compared to the KD Tre 5.8, but overall it does feel and look pretty similar. And then coming here into the ankle area, I don't know why, or like, what's the point in this? Like, putting foam here on the outside of the shoe, like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I guess maybe to add rigidity to the material, but it's a low top. I don't really understand the purpose of this. But anyways, here in the ankle area, we have an average amount of padding. There's mostly padding here on top of the ankle area to improve lockdown. And then for the tongue, we have an oversized tongue, which I like. You know, look at how high it comes up here on the ankle. And also, it is a half booty construction tongue, where this tongue is basically made of this mesh material, and it gives you a better overall one-to-one fit because of how it's made. But as far as the padding goes, there's really no padding, which kind of sucks. You know, that's one thing I really like about the Zoom Freak line. The Zoom Freak 1 and the Zoom Freak 2 had a very, very nice, large, and very well padded tongues. So overall, the material feels very nice, thin, and really minimal on foot. Though I do feel like it is lacking a little bit of support. Like it doesn't feel super supportive. So hopefully when I'm playing ball in this shoe, my foot doesn't really move around in the shoe all too much. Of course, that's not really good for support. Also here in the toe box, we have a little bit of fuse for extra added durability, but it's really here on the medial side. So I don't know if that'll help a lot for toe drags, but there's that. And then as far as details go, so here on the left shoe, you see here in the heel on the foam, it says Athens with Giannis's logo. And then here on the right side, it says Lagos? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. And also we have Giannis's logo here on the lateral side as well. For the tongue here on the left shoe, it says Super Smoothie. And it says Giannis Antetokounmpo here on top of the tongue. Super freaking long name. And then here on the right pair, we have Giannis's logo with Giannis Antetokounmpo's name here on top of the tongue as well. In the toe box, we have a little bit of fuse, and it says 34 for his number. The swoosh in the shoe on the lateral side is pretty much a stitching, and we'll go over this kind of like extra material here on the lateral side in the midfoot. And then here on the medial side, we got some fruits and some swooshes, which that's a pretty cool touch. It's actually embroidered onto the material. And here on the outsole, it says Charles, Veronica, and Liam. And now moving on to the fit. The fit, I went true to size, and length pretty much is good. My toe pretty much goes right to the edge of the shoe. This shoe is extremely freaking narrow and pretty damn snug here in the toe box, right? So I like that, but even for me, the width, it was squeezing my pinky toe into my ring toe. So it's kind of squeezing it a little bit. But one thing I'll say though is that I think it'll be okay because this material feels really, like I said, the support doesn't feel like it's gonna be very good. And just this material is just so soft with this engineered mesh that I feel like it'll stretch out a good amount when I keep playing it and when I break it in. So I feel like the fit's gonna get a lot looser actually. So we'll have to see on that. But right now, first impressions and just trying it on first, it is pretty damn narrow. So just watch out for that. And of course here in the heel, we have a heel tab, which makes the shoe overall a little bit easier to put on. All right, moving on to support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, I am a little worried about lateral containment here in the forefoot. I don't think it's gonna be very good. There's really no lateral counter. And the material, like I keep saying, is super thin and it stretches a little bit, and also it rolls over on itself. So I don't know how the lateral containment is going to be here in the forefoot. But here in the midfoot, if you guys can see through the swoosh, there's this little material underneath this engineered mesh. It has holes in it, so it's basically it's attached to this eyelet kind of, and it kind of like folds in on itself to act as like another material for better lateral containment, which is a good thing, but it's kind of like more in the midfoot. So I would have liked it if they kind of like extended it into the forefoot a little bit. But I guess it's good that they added it here in the midfoot. And then here in the heel, as well as kind of like in the midfoot, the foam does come up a good amount to act as a lateral cage. And there seems to be an internal TPU heel counter. Also, another thing that you notice about the quality of the shoe, I mean, the quality of the material is not that bad. Like I like this engineered mesh. Like I mentioned before, it feels like the KD Tray 5.8, which I really like this material. But if you look at the insole, there's no graphic on it because, I mean, on their cheaper shoes, they're trying to save money. So they don't add a graphic on their like budget models, or Nike doesn't at least. So there's one way Nike is kind of like cutting corners for the price. But I guess the embroidery here on the medial side, and I guess like the overall quality of the materials isn't that bad. And to be honest, I don't really care about the graphic on the insole, so so there's that. As far as lateral stability, the outsole does protrude out a good amount here in the forefoot. So I feel like lateral stability is gonna be good. It's a nice low wide base. As far as the weight goes, I feel like this shoe is gonna be extremely light, you know, kind of like that cheap light, you know. I'm guessing like 10 ounces, 9 ounces, 10.23 ounces. So this shoe is extremely light. It feels extremely light, and it feels really minimal on foot. So I'm actually pretty excited to try it out. You know, traction, like I said, seems really good. Cushion seems responsive. Materials are soft and minimal. The fit for me is really good, just a little bit tight. And then just one thing that I am a little worried about is the lateral containment here in the forefoot. So hopefully my foot doesn't slide out of the footbed at all, or if it does a little bit, hopefully it doesn't do too much, you know, because when I'm playing, I do a lot of lateral movements, and if my foot comes out of the footbed a lot, then of course I'm not going to feel as responsive as I want to when I'm playing in the shoe. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I absolutely love this. This colorway, even this colorway is dope. This gray color, it's kind of like a really light gray, but there is a hint or a hue of pink or purple, you know, so it's kind of hard to see on camera, but in like real life you can definitely tell. And of course, this peach and pink combo is a nice combination as well, and also the overall silhouette looks great. So I mean, for an $80 shoe, whoever's designing Nike's budget shoes, they're doing a really good job. So yeah, tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the Immortality, 80 bucks. I mean, can it be a banger? It's feeling really good so far, and I feel like it's gonna be a really good guard shoe. Just worried about the lateral containment here in the forefoot, but everything else right now feels pretty damn nice. I wish the cushion was a little bit nicer, maybe use a nicer foam, but I mean, it's 80 bucks, right? So anyways, those are my first impressions, and my first impressions are looking real damn good. If you guys do want to cop, again, I'll leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.